Hey guys, it's Harleen, and in this video we will be talking about personality disorders, so it'll be a bit of a longer one. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Personality disorders are mental health conditions that are characterized by ongoing ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving. They affect aspects of a person's character, so their personality essentially, which leads to difficulties in life. There are currently 10 recognized personality disorders in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, so the DSM-5, but I will be talking about the main three, which are borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. To start with, let's talk about BPD. Borderline personality disorder is a mental health condition characterized by unstable moods, behavior, and relationships. The main idea of this disorder is impulsivity and intense emotions. Some of the symptoms include frantic efforts to avoid abandonment, unstable self-image or sense of self. This can lead to constantly changing how they appear, impulsive and risky behavior, extreme emotional swings. Some are able to go from wanting to commit suicide and be okay in under an hour. They also suffer from chronic feelings of emptiness, explosive anger, paranoia or dissociation in stressful situations, and sadly, recurrent suicidal thoughts or self-harm urges. Many of these symptoms are stronger during relationships or even without being in a relationship. That depends on the individual. Overall, relationships are a significant aspect of borderline personality disorder. They may struggle with maintaining healthy boundaries, experience intense mood swings, and have a strong need for validation and intimacy, which can cause unstable relationships. The causes of borderline personality disorder are mostly due to environmental factors, especially childhood trauma where they face abuse, neglect, or unstable family dynamics. All of these can increase the risk of developing borderline personality disorder. There are also imbalances in neurotransmitters or abnormalities in certain brain regions of somebody who has borderline personality disorder, which can explain poor emotional regulations. In order to manage this mental condition, DBT, which stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy, was developed. It's a type of psychotherapy that was aimed to treat those suffering from BPD but now can treat other mental conditions as well. DBT helps individuals learn how to better manage their emotions, improve relationships, and cope with stress in a more adaptive ways. Eventually, with therapy and medication, individuals can experience significant improvement in symptoms associated with borderline personality disorder, and some may no longer meet the criteria for diagnosis. Did you guys know borderline personality disorder affects around 5.4% of Canadians, and for such a relatively high number, the general population still tends to understand this condition poorly, that they still must face stigma. There are misconceptions that individuals with borderline personality disorder manipulate others to get their way, when in reality, their behavior often stems from underlying emotional distress. And some may also perceive characteristics of borderline personality disorder as attention-seeking or dramatic rather than genuine distress. It invalidates the individual's emotions, making it harder for them to seek help and support. There's also an idea that someone with borderline personality disorder will never be able to get treated because it's so complex. Same with other personality disorders, which causes the feelings of hopelessness to the person who is suffering from it. In reality, that is not true. They are manageable, and many people with these disorders can experience significant improvement in symptoms and overall quality of life with appropriate treatment. Secondly, we have aspd, or better known as antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is a mental health condition where people consistently disregard the feelings and rights of others. These people often behave impulsively, lie, and show little remorse for their actions. So as I said before, individuals with aspd disregard the feelings and rights of others. They show a lack of remorse for harming others, hostility, and constantly lying about things. They're often described as impulsive or reckless. They're irresponsible and fail to plan ahead. A lot of times, they may get involved with legal problems and repeated conflicts with authority figures. So how does this disorder develop? Well, it's a bit complicated because we aren't too sure. Researchers believe it can be environmental factors like early childhood experience such as trauma, abuse, neglect, or dysfunctional family dynamics. Socio-cultural influences can play a part as well. So for somebody with aspd, growing up in an environment where aggression is normalized can play a big role. There's also neurological factors such as differences in brain structure or function can contribute to aspd. And lastly, genetic predisposition. Studies have shown that there can be a genetic component to aspd, so if someone in your family has it, you might be more likely to develop it as well. To help manage symptoms of aspd, individuals can be put on medication. There are no medications specifically approved for antisocial personality disorder, but their specific ones may be prescribed to manage symptoms such as aggression or co-occurring conditions like depression or anxiety. There's also therapy for improving empathy, impulse control, and interpersonal skills. Supportive interventions such as substance abuse treatment and anger management classes and more can also be helpful. There is a common misconception that all serial killers have aspd. This is not true. Believing this creates a negative image and discourages people with aspd to find support and go through treatment. People also confuse antisocial personality disorder with narcissistic personality disorder due to overlapping traits such as manipulation and a lack of empathy. NPD is characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others, while aspd is characterized by a pattern of disregard for the violation and rights of others. So the signs that someone may have narcissistic personality disorder would be a need for admiration, a sense of entitlement, exploitive behavior, and of course a lack of empathy. The treatment and causes of narcissistic personality disorder are similar to those of aspd as well as the stigma. Throwing around the word narcissist loosely to somebody who doesn't have the disorder can be problematic because it undermines both the understanding of NPD and the seriousness of mental health conditions. That's a wrap on personality disorder, guys. This is also my last video for this passion project, unfortunately, but it's been a really nice opportunity to be able to learn and share these mental conditions. I've learned a lot and I hope you guys have as well. Perhaps I will come back and maybe create another video in the nearby future. For now, goodbye and thank you.